Okay, this is problem number 23, right? A lot more like the problem that's going to be on the test. Okay, and so for 23, we've got wait, this isn't 23. This is 15. And this is what, 10.6? And it's 735. Okay, it's just continued from yesterday. Right? 15, we're trying to get to 20 something, 27. Or I think it was 23 or something like that. Wasn't it?
9 and 25.
25? Okay. And 25 is a maybe. That's more like an extra credit, it looks like to me. So 23 for sure. Alright, this isn't bad though. Okay. There's this geologist or ecologist, right? An ecologist looking at these animals, right? And he notices that through his sextant, he can see this animal. And he knows that when he uses his rangefinder, he can tell that this animal is 1.4 miles away. And he uses a rangefinder on this animal, right? And he finds that it's 3.5 miles away. Okay? And he's like, well, and with the sextant, he can tell that the angle that they are far apart from each other is 93 degrees. It'd be so much better if it was 90, right? 30, not 30, 60, 90, but it'd be a 90 degree angle. I could just, a squared plus b squared equals c squared, right? But it's not. Okay? And that's real life. Real life, it doesn't always end up being 90 degrees. I mean, we'd love to make it 90 degrees, believe me. When you're figuring out math for building a deck, it's always 90, 90, 90, 90, 90. Everything's 90. Okay? But in real life, sometimes it's not necessarily 90. You gotta still be able to figure it out. So what is this distance when it's 93 degrees? Okay? Now, if I had this side, I could find this side using law of sines, but I don't. I don't have the side opposite of the angle I have. Right? So I just got to be able to find that side. Again, that's that whole problem, right? Angle A, angle B, angle C. So this is A, B, and C. And so it goes right back to A squared equals B squared plus C squared minus 2BC cosine A. Right? That's our law of cosines?
What are the little b and c equals?
Huh?
Thought they're supposed to be across from each other.
They are. Why did I write that? That's little c, that's little b. My bad. Thank you. And then this, let's solve for a. So a is actually going to be the square root of all of that. So it's going to be the square root of b squared plus c squared minus the 2bc cosine a. So it's a lot. It's a lot to plug in. It's a lot to plug in. But that's life. Alright, so we have a is equal to the square root of b, which is 3.5 squared, plus c, 1.4 squared, minus 2b, which is 3.5, times c, which is 1.4, right? Times cosine of a, which is 93 degrees. Okay? Now, I have to think, if I'm plugging this in my calculator, there's this parentheses, that means there's this parentheses and this one. Right? So I kind of like to make those very well seen to me. So when I'm plugging it in, I know I have 2 right here, then I have another one, and another one, and then another one, and I'm good. Does that make sense? Now I can plug it in really, really easy. Okay? So, I've got the square root, so that's second squared. Gives you my square root, right? Make sure there's two parentheses there. And I got 3.5 squared plus 1.4 squared in the parentheses minus, start a new parentheses, 2 times 3.5 times 1.4 times cosine 93. Now when I put the cosine in, there's a parentheses there, right? So I have to end that one, plus I have to end this one, plus I have to end the original one. Is that right? Okay? Then I hit equals. And I get 3.83. 3.84. 3.84. And it said to round to the nearest tenth, I'm sure. Yep. And it's 3.8. So 3.8 miles. Okay? And that's 15. How are we doing?